Today, we will study about cloud delivery model. The software process improvement model, that is SPI model, is a structured approach to enhance software development process. Device streaming slow, it's a route map for organization to optimize efficiency, quality, and project outcomes. Mainly, it has been divided into three sections: SaaS, that is software as a service, PaaS, that is platform as a service, and IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service. What is software as a service? A cloud provider hosts applications on its own infrastructure that makes them available to users over a network, typically the internet. Next one is PaaS, that is platform as a service. A cloud provider hosts an application development platform on its own infrastructure and makes that platform available to user over the internet. And the third one is infrastructure as a service. A cloud platform or provider hosts server, storage, network components, and other key parts of IT infrastructure. Then delivers those resources to users over the internet. If we consider an example, suppose a company wants to create a new e-commerce website. They could use a software as a service platform like Shopify to avoid the hassle of building and maintaining the infrastructure. Now, let's take an example of SPI model. A company wants to create a new e-commerce website. They could use a software as a service platform like Shopify to avoid the hassles of building and maintaining the infrastructure themselves. Shopify provides all the software functionalities needed for the online store. Alternatively, they could use a platform as a service platform like AWS Elastic Beanstalk to develop a custom e-commerce application. This would give them more control over the look and feel of the website, but require more development effort. Finally, they could use an infrastructure as a service solution like Microsoft Azure's virtual machines to build the entire infrastructure from scratch. This offers maximum control and flexibility, but also requires significant expertise to manage. Cloud service models. Cloud computing can be defined as the practice of using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data, rather than a local server or a personal computer. Companies offering such kind of cloud computing services are called cloud providers and typically charge for cloud computing services based on users. Cloud service models refer to the different ways cloud computing services are delivered to users and organizations. They essentially define what parts of the computing structure are managed by the providers and what the customer is responsible for. Cloud computing services fall into 5 broad categories: software as a service, platform as a service, structure as a service, anything/everything as a service, and the last one, function as a service. We will focus on 3 main types, that is software as a service, platform as a service, and infrastructure as a service. Now, what is this software as a service? It is the users rent and access software applications over the internet. The provider takes care of everything: installation, maintenance, updates, and service. Users simply need an internet connection and a web browser or API to access the software. Let's take an example of it. Think of popular applications like Gmail, Dropbox, etc. You don't need to install any software on your device. You just log in and use them. Provider manages all the underlying structure. This was the example of software as a service. Now, let's study about platform as a service. It provides a platform for developers to deploy and manage their application. It essentially rents out a development environment with tools, programming languages, databases, and servers. Developers can focus on building their applications without worrying about managing underlying infrastructure. Now, let's take an example. Imagine using a service like Microsoft Azure's Amazon Web Service Elastic Beanstalk or Google App Engine. These platforms provide the foundation for developers to build and run their applications, eliminating the need to set up and maintain their own servers and software. Number 3, infrastructure as a service rents out virtualized computing resources like servers, storage, and networking. Users have more control over these resources than with platform as a service, but also more responsibility for managing them. This is like having a remote data center that you could configure and use for your own purpose. Now let's take an example of infrastructure as a service. Services like Amazon EC2, Microsoft Azure's virtual machines, and Google Computer Engine provide virtual machines and storage that you can configure and use to run your own applications or workloads. This offers a lot of flexibility, but requires more technical expertise to manage effectively. Cloud deployment model. Cloud deployment model functions as a virtual computing environment with a deployment architecture that varies depending on the amount of data you want to store and who has access to the infrastructure. So, basically we can say a cloud deployment model defines how good resources are delivered and who manages them. It essentially determines the location of your servers and who controls them, impacting factors like security, cost, and flexibility. If we differentiate into the different types of the cloud, the first one is public cloud. In public cloud, the infrastructure is owned and operated by a cloud service provider, that is CSP. Examples are Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, or Google Cloud Platform. This providers offers on-demand scalable resources like servers, storage, and networking that multiple users can access over the internet. Let's take an example. Imagine a library with a vast collection of books. Like computing resources, the library, that is the cloud provider, owns and maintains the books, that is infrastructure, and anyone can access them, that is rent the resources, with a library card, that is the account. Public cloud are popular for their scalability and affordability. Now number 2, private cloud. A private cloud offers a dedicated cloud environment for a single organization. The infrastructure can be hosted on premises in your own data center or managed by a cloud service provider. Private clouds provide high level of security and control over your data. Let's take an example. Think of a private library of a company. They have their own collection of books, that is the infrastructure, managed by their own librarians, that is the IT staff. Now, this ensures complete control over the resources, but requires more investment in hardware and expertise. Number 3 is hybrid cloud. It combines elements of both public and private cloud. An organization can leverage the scalability and cost effectiveness of a public cloud for certain tasks while keeping sensitive data on a secured private cloud. Example of it is, imagine a university with a main library, that is the private cloud, and a branch library, that is the public cloud. The main library holds rare books, that means the sensitive data, while the branch library offers widely used resources, that is scalable public cloud storage. This allows flexibility based on data sensitivity and resource needs. Number 4 is community cloud. It is a shared infrastructure for a specific group of organizations with common interest or needs. This model fosters collaboration and resources sharing among trusted partners. Let's take an example. Now, several universities could come together to create a shared cloud infrastructure for research purposes. This allows them to pool resources for computationally intensive tasks while maintaining control over their data. Community clouds are less used common type over benefits for specific use cases. The last but not the least is multiple clouds. A multiple cloud strategy involves using multiple public clouds from different providers. This allows organizations to leverage the best features and services from each provider, avoiding vendors lock-in and potentially achieving better pricing. Let's take an example of it. A company might use AWS for its core infrastructure, Microsoft Azure for AI development, and Google Cloud Platform for data analytics. This strategy provides flexibility and access to specific services from each provider. Now, what is the right choice for cloud deployment model? Number 1, cost. Cost is an important factor for the cloud deployment model as it tells how much amount you want to pay for these things. Number 2 is scalability. Scalability tells about the current activity status and how much we can scale it. Number 3, easy to use. It tells how much your resources are trained and how easily can you manage these models. Number 4, compliance. It tells about the laws and regulations which impact the implementation of the model. Last but not the least, the 5th one is privacy. Privacy tells about what data you gather for the model. Now, let's differentiate among infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. The first one is infrastructure as a service. Renting virtual building blocks like servers, storage, and networking. Whereas in platform as a service, renting a pre-built development environment with tools and resources. In software as a service, renting and using software applications over the internet. Number 2, in infrastructure as a service, manages the operating system, applications, data, security, and runtime environment. Whereas in platform as a service, develop, deploy, and manage application. as well as in software as a service, just use the software. No management required. Number 3, in infrastructure as a service, manages the physical infrastructure and virtualization layer, whereas in platform as a service, manages the underlying infrastructure, operating system, and middleware, while in software as a service, manages everything: infrastructure, platform, application, data, security, and updates. Number 4, infrastructure as a service is most control over the infrastructure, but also the most responsibility. Whereas in platform as a service, less control than infrastructure as a service, but more focus on development. And in software as a service, least control, but easiest to use. In software as a service, the examples are Salesforce, Google Workspace app, Microsoft 365, Zoom, Adobe Creative Cloud. Example of infrastructure as a services are Amazon EC2, Microsoft Azure's virtual machines, Google Computer Engine. Whereas example of platform as a service are Microsoft Azure's, Amazon Web Service Elastic Beanstalk, Google App Engine. Benefits of using cloud models for businesses. Number 1, scalability and flexibility. What is its benefit? Cloud models allows business to easily scale their IT resources up or down depending on their needs. This eliminates the need to invest in expensive hardwares that may not always be fully utilized. Let's take an example. A university can use a software as a service learning management system to accommodate a surge in online courses during peak semester. They only pay for the resources they use. This is the flexibility of it. Number 2, cost saving. Cloud models can help businesses save money on upfront hardware and software cost. They also eliminate the need to maintain and manage their own IT infrastructure, freeing up IT staff for other tasks. Let's take an example. A startup company does not have the capacity to invest in a large IT infrastructure. By using a cloud-based accounting solution like Xero, they can access the software they need without a hefty upfront investment. They also avoid the cost of maintaining their own accounting servers and softwares. Number 3 is improve collaboration. Cloud model enables teams to collaborate on projects more easily regardless of location. Employees can access shared documents and applications from anywhere with an internet connection. Let's take an example. Students can access learning materials and assignments from any devices, whether at school, college, home, tuition, or on the go. Teachers can share resources and collaborate on projects in real time using cloud-based tools. Number 4 is enhanced security and reliability. Cloud providers invest heavily in security measures to protect their data centers. Cloud-based solutions can often provide a more secure environment than businesses can maintain on their own. Additionally, cloud providers offer high level of availability, ensuring that applications and data are always accessible. Let's take an example. A small healthcare company stores patients' data on its own servers. These servers are vulnerable to cyber attacks and power outage. By migrating to a secured cloud environment like Google Cloud Platform, the company can benefit from robust security measures and data redundancy, ensuring patients' data is protected and always accessible. Number 5. Automatic updates and maintenance. Cloud providers handle software updates and infrastructures maintaining or for the maintenance, freeing up IT staffs to focus on more strategic tasks. Let's take an example. Schools or colleges no longer need to worry about patching and updating software on individual device. Cloud providers manage this task automatically, ensuring everyone has access to the latest versions. Number 6. Access to advanced technologies. Cloud models allow school or colleges to leverage cutting-edge technologies like AI, machine learning, and data analytics without significant upfront investment. Let's take an example of it. Schools or colleges can use cloud-based AI tools for personalized learnings or data analytics to identify student trends and improve educational outcomes. Thank you, everyone. Write the answer in the comment section. Question number 1. Who are the cloud service providers in a ecosystem? Question number 2. What are the different versions of the cloud? Question number 3. What do you mean by cloud delivery models? Write the answer in the comment section of the video.